What's going on, Craftinistas? I am back with part 2 of my $50 bundle that I picked up from the bank. These are more of the straighter bills. I'll put a link to the other video, what I did with the crinkly ones. And I'm going to make a money pad card with it. So I do recommend this works better if you have new or you can get a hold of crisp dollar bills, but I am just using what I had, and these are more of the straighter ones. And what I'm doing here is using a 6 1/8 by 2 5/8 of chipboard, and I cut that out and using the We Are Memory Keepers trimmer. This is the original one that has the actual 1/8 on there I was showing. But what I'm doing here is using that chipboard piece that I cut out, and it's just like cereal box kind of weight. It's just something from my stash. It's really thin, lightweight, just something sturdy. And so I'm just getting all my bills and trying to get them all lined up as best I can. Amazing when you're doing something you cannot find. I had a lot of these little clips, the little pink clips there from the Dollar Tree, and of course when you're doing a project you cannot find them. And recently I was in the Dollar Tree and I didn't find any of them, so I need to pick up a lot when I do run my eyes on them, because they're great to hold projects. As you can see here, that would have got it nice and tight and held my project straight, but I couldn't find any of them, so I just used what I had. So I am taking some Mod Podge and just doing somewhat of a light stroke of coverage along the top here and binding them together to make a pad. And I'm just trying to get in the little grooves here, that way I don't have any gaps. As you can see there are some gaps in there, and so I'm just trying to fill it in to make sure that it's nice and smooth. Okay, so I did it twice. I should have did it 3 times. Then I cut out my cardstock, and I used heavy cardstock at 2 3/4, and it was by 12, and 12 is not quite long enough, so you'll see I'm going to use an additional sheet there. But as far as the fold, I don't have the measurements for the fold, but as you can see here, once I butted that up against, I can kind of see where I wanted it to be. You may not want it as tight if you're going to duplicate this, but I wanted it right up to it with just a little bit of gap there, and then I wanted a little room so it won't be so tight in the middle, so that's where I put my other one for and folded it over. So once I got those 2 score lines, then I just cut off another strip of 2 3/4, and then you can see here I just cut off as how much I wanted. And so here's just some paper that I am distressing, and then just kind of got the ruler in and just kind of filled in. I don't have the exact measurements for that, but as you can see, it's just something to fill in and making a cover for that. And then I followed it up and used some dies and just decorated it. Just a simple piece of string on the end, and did a couple of circle dies and typewriter die. And I wanted to show, I put another white piece of paper in the middle that initially, like I said, I only did 2 coats and they fell off. And I wanted to show that on purpose, to show that I ended up putting it on the wrong way because I wanted it to look straight. But as you can see, once the other ones fell off and I glued it back on, that it was the wrong way. And you know, I wanted it to be exact, so I did this on purpose so I can show how to fix it, and it's really simple. So all I did was just tear off those 2 and made sure this time that I had all my bills straight, and then I separated those 2 and made sure I put them right. And then the other ones are already all glued together, and so all I'm going to have to do is just make sure I have a good binding to bind the other bills back to my cardboard piece, and then the 2 bills in the front, make sure they were good. But I'm going to use my Mod Podge on that, so I don't want to get it all over the cardstock. So I'm going to pry that off here, and then I'm going to use some clips again and clip it back on. And even with mistakes here, no worries, we can easily fix this. So I'm just getting them straight, and then I'm going to, now I have that adhesive that's stuck to the black cardstock, so that's the only thing that's making it a little difficult to get on and off there. But other than that, I got it all together and everything is straight. So I'm just going to get my Mod Podge again, and I put just a little separation there so I won't get the Mod Podge on the black cardstock or this big glue spot on my cardstock. And then I'm just doing a couple of coats there again, lightly, and then letting it dry, and then it'll be good as new. And you see that's just from the adhesive that's already there. And then instead of me pushing that back down, I'm going to actually get some wet glue to glue that down to make sure that everything's intact and it's ready to go. And art glitter is going to do it for me. I just put a thin coat there, and then I'm going to let it dry. And just going to wipe off my edges there. And then this card is ready to go in the mail. And so, one more time, I'm going to show how that came together. And I hope you enjoy this craft. If you do, give me a thumbs up. It helps my channel. And see you later, Craftinistas.